Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, this morning I've been listening to the latest podcast from Andrew and Tristan Tate. And I know that a lot of people in the world view those guys negatively, but to me, they're clearly fit, healthy and rich guys that dedicate themselves to keeping themselves fit and rich. And I don't think anyone can deny that they say what they truly believe. Unlike a lot of influencers and celebrities nowadays who basically just say whatever they've been paid to say or say whatever they need to say to follow the agenda of the day. You know, there's a lot of virtue signalling nowadays where celebrities and stuff will just come out and say whatever they feel they need to say to stay relevant. So yeah, I like listening to the Tate brothers. They're also very motivational and they're all about, pushing yourself, putting yourself through suffering and turning yourself into the best human that you can. Now, at the start of the podcast I was listening to today, they were talking about, how we don't really know what's true and what's not with things that are going on in the world. It's actually the anniversary of 9/11 when they put that podcast out. So they were talking about how we don't really know whether it was terrorists that did 9/11 or whether it was the US government. There's so many different opinions out there about what happened. There's videos on YouTube from both sides of the argument. And they were basically saying that, you can't trust anything that you see, in the media or online. And this is so true. I think anyone with half a brain cell knows that, the media is used as a propaganda tool to manipulate the opinion of the population. And that's why the internet's good, because you can go and look at different sources and, ultimately look at all different opinions, and then you can come to your own conclusion on things. Now, you could argue that only the stuff they want you to see is also put on the internet, but the internet is definitely more varied than, say, the TV or the newspaper, which are, all run by super rich people that are influenced by and ultimately influence government. So, I see the TV and newspaper and stuff like that as potentially more biased than, going on the internet and looking at videos and stuff from all different sources. So, in my opinion, you should question everything. Don't believe anything just because, you've seen it on the TV or the newspaper or indeed the internet. You should go and get multiple opinions of anything that you're looking at. But what I would say is don't become one of these people where you basically spend your whole life just disagreeing with everything and looking for holes in every argument, And also, don't spend too much time deciding whether you agree or disagree with things that aren't relevant. For me, I'm sorry, but I'm not bothered about who's right and who's wrong on the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, you could argue that it might spark World War III or whatever, but even all that, that's beyond my control. But, I have looked into it a little bit, and there's definitely things that Ukraine have done that don't get reported on the news. It all seems to be, the agenda is that it's Russia's fault, so obviously they're going to keep pushing and showing us how bad Russia is and showing us how brave Ukraine is. So, I'm not really bothered that much about who's right or wrong in that conflict, but I will go and, seek out the opposite opinion to what's being, pushed on us through the TV. So, I'm getting both sides. Another example is whether the world's flat or round. I'm not bothered if the world is flat or round, but, I have watched videos and looked into the flat earth theory, etc. And it's interesting, but, ultimately, I haven't really got an opinion. I'm not bothered if the world is flat or round. Another thing that really splits opinion is the whole COVID thing. Now, when I could clearly see that the media and stuff were seeming to ignore and never mention certain opinions about COVID, then, I did go and look into it and try and make my own mind up about the situation, because ultimately, we were all on lockdown, so it was something that was relevant to my life. In my day job that I used to have, I was being told that I had to wear a mask all day. There was definite fears of people ending up losing their jobs if they didn't take the vaccine, etc., etc. So yeah, I looked into it. I looked at both sides of the argument, or all sides of the argument, looked at the facts and figures. I didn't just automatically believe the politicians when they were going on TV every day to tell us, how bad it was. I looked at all different opinions. I seeked out as many different opinions about it as I could, and then I used all that data to decide whether, for instance, I was going to go and get tested every time I had a little cold, and also, for instance, whether I was going to accept these vaccines that they were giving out to people. I didn't just automatically, like a zombie, believe, oh yeah, if I get a sore throat, I have to go and get a test, and oh yeah, I must go and get this vaccine. I didn't just automatically think, yeah, I'm going to put a mask over my nose and mouth just because the people on the TV told me. It's like, no, I went and got all the information that I could, and I decide whether I wear a mask. I decide whether I'm going to take a vaccine, So that's an example where, something was relevant to my life. So I had to, look into it a bit more and actually make a decision on it. Unlike flat Earth, and unlike the Ukraine war, I don't need to come up with an opinion on those things. So basically, I'd say that, do go and seek all different opinions of anything that you're looking into or anything you're wondering about, but also don't spend too much time trying to come up with an opinion if it's something that's not relevant to your life. That's the way I approach things. Now, in terms of things like I've implemented into my life in the last 7-8 months, which have made a massive positive impact in my life. I'm obviously turning myself into a stronger, fitter human being. I'm physically, mentally and spiritually stronger and improving day by day. There's a lot of things that I've implemented into my life to get me where I'm at and to continue to get me, where I'm going. Things like diet, supplementation, exercise, causing myself daily suffering like the cold showers, meditation, journaling so that I'm reminding myself of the things I'm grateful for, etc. And, practicing, analysing what's going on in my mind, by writing out the journals and doing the meditation. Getting up early and going for that walk around the block. These are all things that I've implemented into my life, and they are making a massive positive impact. And I'm obviously sharing those things with you guys to try and inspire as many of you out there as I can to make yourselves more healthy physically, mentally and spiritually. And I know that loads of you guys have implemented the stuff that I'm doing into your lives, and you've got in touch to tell me how they're positively impacting your lives, which makes me feel good and keeps me pushing forward with what I'm doing, and the cycle continues. But I would say, even the things that I'm saying, even though I'm coming on here and telling you how great these things are improving my life, don't just take it at face value. Try them out, actually try them out and give them a chance and see for yourself whether they're going to benefit you. Come to your own conclusion. Don't just take my word for it. But at the same time, don't fall into the trap where you're looking for reasons why what I'm doing isn't necessarily necessary. Like I had a comment recently on a video saying about going to the gym too much, going to the gym. And then they stated that, oh, you don't need a gym membership to maintain your fitness and health. Yeah, you don't. But I wonder if that guy that commented below that video has ever been to the gym. I wonder how fit and healthy he is. Has he adopted my approach of being determined to try to go to the gym near enough every day? And if he did he have negative impacts in his life which have made him come to the conclusion that you don't need a gym membership to maintain your health and fitness? Who knows? Now, a lot of people out there have said, I'm being too hard on myself, etc., etc. And I am, because I've been too easy on myself my whole life. That's what's turned me into a waste man. That's why I ended up spending 20 plus years as a waste man, putting things in my body that don't make me stronger. Now, I get it. Some of you guys out there just don't want me to unnecessarily suffer, because a lot of you have come over from my car videos, etc., etc. But, You know, how many of you have actually implemented the things that I'm doing to cause myself suffering? You know, cold showers and things like that. And you might find that what I've found, which is that a bit of daily suffering actually benefits you. So yeah, question everything, but don't worry too much about coming up with an opinion for things that aren't relevant to you. And if you see anything that is relevant to you, definitely study all sides of the argument, or if it's something you can actually implement into your life, do that, and then you'll be able to see and decide whether you agree or disagree with that thing. Now, as usual, I've turned the camera on after I've got up and had my loads and loads of water and my vitamin C, after I've written in my journal, after I've done my 20-minute meditation session, and after I've been for my walk around the block. And it's time for me to dive into my exercises. You'll be happy to know that I did get up at 7:30 today as planned, even though I actually ended up working on the next video on the car channel last night until about 1 a.m. It was a struggle to get up this morning. I actually got up at 7:30, went and had about 4 glasses of water, and then my mind was able to persuade me to go back to bed. But luckily, I got up 10 minutes later, continued with my water, and then had my vitamin C, and so on. So yeah, nearly lost the battle this morning, but so glad that I did actually end up getting up. And you know, even though I was really tired when I was having my water at the sink, tired enough for my mind to persuade me to go back to bed, I am now really awake, now that I've just got to just having my walk around the block. Now, in terms of my exercises, yesterday I didn't quite do as much of an intense back and shoulder session as I would have liked. So I'm going to do some bent over rows, then I'm going to do some rear delts, but a bit heavier than I did them, I think it was yesterday or the day before. So yeah, I'll do the 2 sets of those back to back, and then I'll take some weight off of the dumbbells and do some side lateral raises, and maybe bang out a bonus set of push-ups in between those 2 sets of lateral raises. So let's do it. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, if the government are trying to tell you something and they're backing up what they're saying with a study or experts, ask yourself who has employed those experts or who has paid to have that study carried out. Anyway, exercise done. Now time for my cold shower. Then I'm going to have my egg on toast breakfast with my protein shake and my other supplements, and then I'm going to dive into my work. Alright, so today's another one of those days where I'm going to be stuck on my MacBook all day trying to get the next video out today on the car channel, and I've still got hours and hours and hours of editing to do on that video. I'm not sure whether I'll have enough time to get it out today, but I truly believe that it's possible, and that is the first step to doing anything. If you don't believe you can do it, then you pretty much can't. Now, I've just popped out now because I need to pick up my exhaust manifold from the machine shop. I've skimmed the flange for it, and I've got something to post. And yeah, I've already done a bit of editing this morning after I had my breakfast and my supplements and that. And yeah, as soon as I get back, I'm going to be diving straight back into that edit. And yeah, I need to focus, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I will get that video out on the car channel today. All right, well, I have been working like a machine all afternoon on my MacBook. Managed to get the car video done and up. In fact, that's just gone live now. And I've just finished editing the video you would have seen yesterday on this channel. And that's 2 minutes away from being uploaded to YouTube. It's now 8 p.m. No, it's not. It's 7 p.m. And me and Kat are going to head to the gym. And there's actually a film on at 8:30 that we want to catch. It's actually a sequel to a film we watched here at home the other day. So yeah, today's been another one of them days where I'm trying to do way too much than is possible. But, you know, when I live like that, I just get more done. You know, I seem to thrive under pressure. So now the plan is to wait for this to upload. It's got 57 seconds left. Then I'm going to create the thumbnail and stuff on the way to the gym, and then that will be ready. And then, yeah, we're just going to bang out a heavy, fast session in the gym, get ready at the gym, have a shower and stuff, and then go straight to the cinema, although maybe via Subway for some dinner. So, yeah, it's intense. Alright, so as you've just seen, I did the 3 exercises on arms and chest because we was pushed for time, and then we rushed around getting ready and we went to the cinema, but yeah, by the time we got to the front of the queue to buy the food and get the tickets, the film had already started. I think it was like 25 minutes in. The trailers are normally 20 minutes, but yeah, we was almost at the front of the queue, and they probably wouldn't have even sold us the tickets, to be honest. And normally we'd book them in advance, but Kat was unable to do that. So then we thought we'll go and get a Subway for dinner, but that was closed. So now we're in McDonald's. Like pretty much the only thing I have in McDonald's nowadays are the chicken wraps. So I got 2 of them. Kat got 1. And some fries and a milkshake. Yeah, this evening's just proof that, okay, I do end up getting more done when I've got so much on that it's hardly even possible with the time that I've got, but you're always at risk of flopping something or other, and tonight we flopped the cinema. But to be fair, Kat's just finished her night shift. She had 2 hours sleep last night, so she probably would have fallen asleep halfway through the film. So it's probably better that we go and watch that film during the week or something. All right, so today has been another day where I've put myself under pressure just to try and be as productive as possible. And do you know what? I'm really glad that I managed to get another car video out today. That's 3 videos in 5 days. So yeah, really good work rate. But this evening, of course, was an example of when being too busy can fail me. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier, when I was on the treadmill today, I got that feeling again where sort of my heart and lungs felt like they weren't as fit as they usually are. And it's really weird, you know. It only sort of happens for a while, and then, you know, my mind starts coming in and thinking of extreme things like heart attacks and whatnot, which then makes it get a bit worse. And then I sort of get over that and think to myself, do you know what? If I'm going to die on the treadmill doing half a mile incline walk, then, you know, maybe I do deserve to die. And I start thinking of, you know, all the drugs and that I've done in the past, which probably should have killed me off. And yeah, once I sort of get past that sort of mental barrier and, you know, grit my teeth and carry on, I'm all right again. So I don't know what's going on. I don't think I'm about to die. I certainly hope not. And yeah, as I say, if a little fast walk on the treadmill is supposed to kill me off, then, you know, maybe it's time for me to go. Who knows? Anyway, tomorrow I've got another busy day and I've got boxing. So just like last week, it's going to be a balance because, you know, I need to get as much done as I can in the morning, then go up to boxing at 12 noon, and then recover enough from boxing to head over to my other garage to work on my other car because I need to get that ready for an event the day after. So yeah, I'll be making another video following tomorrow and whatever does happen. But as always, I want to send a massive thanks out to everyone who's got this far in this video. I hope it's been somewhat useful or motivational. As always, feel free to say hello in the comments and we'll have a chat, or contact me directly through Facebook, Instagram or email. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.